G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Either Side of Nil. I'm Ben, one half of this dynamic podcasting duo. I'm here in Adelaide. It's cold, it's wet, it's wintry, but it's a fabulous day to talk to my favourite cousin of all, Kristy. How you going, Kristy?
Hi Ben, I'm good. How are you? It's excellent to see you. And
as always, good to see you.
Yeah, and first up, welcome to all our brand new listeners. Yep, we know you're out there. That's right, everyone. Ben and I are cousins, and we have been for ages now. He's on one side of Nil, and I'm on the other side of Nil. And for those who don't know where Nil is, it's smack bang in the middle of Adelaide and Melbourne. So that's why it's called Either Side of Nil, because it is, Ben. It's a fact.
Total fact, absolutely, yeah. Geographically.
It's just a fact, man. Hey, Ben, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm a really, really long way the other side of Nil.
Ah, are you?
You can
You
tell.
did sound a bit
Yeah,
different.
you can tell by the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
I'm coming to you live from Queensland, where it's beautiful one
Wow.
day, perfect the next. But to be honest, it's rained the past 2 days.
Oh, no. They never talk about the third day, do they?
No. But, I don't care because I'm not at work. So, like most of us, we haven't been away for some time, and it's great to be out of freezing cold Melbourne. I love you, Melbourne, but you're really starting to give me the chills. They're multiplying. Oh, of course. That was in honour of Olivia Newton-John. Rest in peace, sweet Olivia. It was really sad, wasn't it, Ben?
So sad, yeah. It was such a shock. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know her personally, obviously, but really, for me, if I can say, Greece was our babysitter. We had, when we were at home with mum, and our next door neighbour was also single, and so the two mums would get together in the afternoons, and the four kids would just watch Greece.
Love it.
and the Thriller film clip. So Thriller film clip followed by Greece. That was kind of my babysitter for a good couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
I know it word for word.
I reckon I know it word for word too. I saw it at the movies, and then instantly had to have hair like Sandy. And there is a photo. I'm going to try and dig it out somewhere. There is a photo of me with my hair like Sandy when I was probably 8 years old. And
which Sandy, like the prim and proper Sandy, or the end Sandy?
Yeah, it would look a bit
smoking a cigarette at 8 years old.
Yeah, no, it was the cute girl next door, Sandy.
Oh, okay, yeah, Bobby
Socks, yeah. Right. And then when I was in calisthenics, we did we did Xanadu on roller skates, and we did like one of those dances. Yeah, so yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was really sad news.
Now, recapping our last episode, we had a great chat with Andrew Kelso. We think it was one of our best yet. We do always say that, though, don't we? But he's such a nice guy,
awesome.
And we had a great time chatting with Andrew.
I loved it. It was really good, and what an interesting guy. He's done so much, and he's so young. He's so young.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Talk about shaming us out. I'm like, wow, you're like 20-something years old, and you've done all these fantastic things. So good on you, Andrew. And he does listen to the podcast. So g'day, mate.
Yep.
Hope you're having a good day.
Hello.
Sorry, I always do shout-outs.
I know, you do. You did one the other day for your neighbour.
I know. My old neighbour.
Thank God, Ben.
I know, I'm not like that. Calm down. Anyway, now look, hey, guess what? It's our 10th episode.
I know. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? I can't believe we've recorded 10 of these.
I know, 10 episodes. That's a Netflix series, basically. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's as much effort as a Netflix series.
I know, it takes a lot of time and energy to coordinate all of this. So I love it though. It's been heaps and heaps of fun, and I reckon we'll look back in time on these first 10 episodes and go, oh my God, weren't we raw?
Totally raw. Yeah, you listen to the first couple and you think, oh, well, I think they were just for us, and then it started to be about the audience.
Yeah.
Anyway, the other fun fact is that we're now on Spotify. So if you want to listen to our episodes, you can just Google us. And, of course, you can go to Buzzsprout. You can go to Linktree and search us. But also we're on Spotify. So we're out there, man.
We are. I love it. And when I open Spotify and see us up there, it's like, oh, my God, we're playing with the big kids now. It's really, really cool. Yeah. So, yeah, heaps of ways that you can listen to the Either Side of Nil podcast. So today's episode, Ben, is a little bit different. We're going to have a lot of fun recording today, and this is going to be our version of the ESON Games, right? So think Hunger Games, but only better. So,
Oh, good. Wow. Okay.
how well do you know your town? Let's find out, shall we? So, first up, let's explain the rules for the ESON Hunger Games. All right. Ben and I will share 3 things about each town. Ben for Melbourne
Yep.
and me for Adelaide. So the aim is
Mm.
to try and stump each other with an amazing or unique or obscure fact. And we've both been spending lots of time in the library doing lots of research. But the kicker is we haven't told each other what we've found out. So it will be a total surprise. So if you know the
Mm.
fact about your town, you get 1 point. And the person with the most points at the end wins all the glory. Okay. Oh, plus a 7-week
That's
cruise
great.
around Europe on a maxi yacht with 18 of your best mates.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be so much fun. Now, I've got a little surprise for you. So hopefully this works. If you get the correct answer, this is what you'll hear.
Oh!
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
And if you get it
Yeah.
wrong, you hear this. Okay. So I thought you'd like that.
Oh my god, I'm loving this. Oh, so much. All right, I'm going to keep a close check on the scores because I know you, Ben, you bloody cheat. So let's get this show on the road, Ben. Enough jibber jabber. Why don't you kick it off?
Yeah. All right. Is everyone ready? I've been playing with some sound bites.
Really?
Yeah. That's all I got, though. Okay.
Can't we just play them for the rest of the episode?
Oh, all right.
Where did you get that from?
I just went and knocked on a few doors and we gathered in the street. Mm.
All right,
Okay.
give me a first fact.
Fact number one.
Okay.
First fact. The first fact, did you know that Melbourne's Chinatown is the oldest Chinatown in the Southern Hemisphere? So it's located on Little Bourke Street in Melbourne, and Chinatown in Melbourne was actually founded during the Gold Rush, which started in 1851. When the Gold Rush hit, over 40,000 people came from China during that sort of decade, 1851 into about 1860.
Ooh.
So it's now known as the oldest Chinatown in the Southern Hemisphere and the longest continuous Chinese settlement in the Western world, which is pretty amazing. There's a couple of fun facts there. And the other oldest Chinatowns, just to give you an idea of how it compares, there's London, which started in the early 1900s, New York, which started later in the 1850s, and San Francisco around the same time. So Melbourne's Chinatown, the oldest Chinatown
Wow.
in the Southern Hemisphere, and kicked off because of the gold rush. How cool's
Yeah, I
that?
did not know that. So
You didn't know that? Oh, okay. No points for you.
what about China? Has China got the oldest Chinatown?
Well, that's a pretty epic Chinatown, I would say. Yeah. I love going to Chinatown, though. I love the food in Chinatown. I always see the ducks. You know how they always
Oh
have the
yeah, hanging
ducks,
on the
the
windows.
glazed kind of. And I've never had one. I always think I'm going to get one next time. And they sort of, if you they come to your
Oh yeah,
table and they sort of cut it up
yeah,
and get it all
beautiful.
ready for you.
Ah, that's a
Never done that.
awesome fact, Ben. All right, 1 point to you. Okay.
Cool.
So I've been researching really hard to find some interesting and unique Adelaide topics. So I hope you
Mm,
don't know about it, but I've dug deep into the South Australian archives. But I may have had a
go
little
for it.
help from some influential Adelaide connections. In fact, yes, I did. That's just for
Really?
transparency's sake, Ben. But in doing my research, I've also uncovered some amazing facts. I hope you don't mind. I just have learnt a lot about Adelaide, such as Farmers Union iced coffee is the most popular drink. Some of the
Yep.
greatest Australian sportsmen have come from Adelaide: Don Bradman, Leighton Hewitt, and some of the greatest films have been made in South Australia: Bad Boy Bubby, Shine, Storm Boy, and of course Breaker Morant. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Ben. I do digress. Here we go. Here's my first fun fact for you.
Okay, hit me.
Polides. You may have seen that sign. You may have seen that many buildings throughout Adelaide have the blue and white Polides sign. And you may have wondered, why? Who's Polides? And what does it mean? Well, let me tell you this, Ben. The Polides signs that dominate the Adelaide CBD commercial buildings reflect the astonishing rise of Constantine George Polides. It's a property tycoon. Polides immediately put a blue and white sign with his name on each building he bought. Hindley Street has the greatest concentration of signs. So Polides bought and sold hundreds of properties throughout the 70s and 80s, and he was also a noticeable figure around town, driving a 1977 Cadillac, usually smoking a cigar. He always wanted his name up in lights, and this was his way of achieving that. Con's passed away now, sadly, R.I.P. Con, and the property company lives on, and now the signs are of his legacy. So, Ben, did you know that? And also, have you ever seen Con before he died?
No. Look, I partially knew that fact. I knew about Polides. Some people say Polides. I knew about the signs, and I knew it was a property tycoon and that Hindley Street had the highest volume. So let's say I partially knew that fact. Would you give me a point for? I didn't know that he drove a 77 Cadillac and smoked a cigar. That's pretty awesome bit of information that I didn't know, but I did know about Polides, I have to say, or Polides. I did know that.
Okay, no, I think you get a point there. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, because you knew it.
It's a point to me.
Yes. All right, Ben.
Great facts, Kristy. Fantastic and very, very iconic and unique to Adelaide. So our Adelaide listeners will be nodding their heads at the blue and white signs. Absolutely.
Nice one.
For sure. Now, a couple of things that I learned. Now, I did live in Melbourne myself for a few years back in the late 90s. And I know Melbourne's changed since then. And look, it is a fabulous city. I absolutely love it to bits. Some fun facts about Melbourne that aren't really facts I want to stump you with, but some cool things about Melbourne that are unique to Melbourne are it's the largest tram network. It's actually the fourth largest tram network in the world. It's the largest outside Europe, which is pretty cool. You would know that. Melbourne and trams, it's just a thing. Words like grouse and ace, which still seem to kind of survive today. I think ace has got a bit more of a life than grouse, but I used to wonder what the hell those words were, but they're very Melbourne words. They don't say those words anywhere else. You meet at South Bank, don't you? If you're going to meet someone in the city, you might meet at one of the bridges. Luna Park is
iconic.
Well, maybe not so much now, but it's a very iconic. Luna Park is an iconic place. The Spencer Street DFO. Whenever someone goes to Melbourne from Adelaide, they always go to the DFO at Spencer Street and buy a whole bunch of cheap shoes.
Yeah, well, it's now called Southern Cross.
And, Southern Cross. Well, there you go. Okay, and also Lygon Street is famous for all the Italian cafes. And when I lived in Melbourne, I had spent a lot of time in Lygon Street. In fact, I had my 21st in a cafe in Lygon Street, and we did
see Bart Cummings, didn't we? It was good that you invited him to your 21st.
I did, and he came. I couldn't believe it.
He came on a horse.
He was a good. He did, and it was upstairs too. God. He was a legend. But also, the black box was invented in Melbourne, which I thought was a really cool fact. Yeah. And of course, there's La Porchetta.
Oh, now, Porkies! I love it.
Is that still around anymore? Is it still around?
Love Porkies.
La Porchetta is a very unique thing to Melbourne. Now, they were just a few random facts that I knew you'd know, but I just thought for those that are wanting to be a bit nostalgic about Melbourne. Now, my second fact. There's actually there's a structure, a sculpture in the Melbourne CBD, and it's called Three Businessmen Who Bought Their Own Lunch. Now, I don't know if you know this.
No, I don't.
The sculptors named the three businessmen after the leading figures who established the city of Melbourne. So we know, obviously, the lands of Melbourne have been around for a long, long time, but the actual city of Melbourne was established by Charles Swanston, a prominent businessman and banker in Melbourne, John Batman, who founded the first settlement in Melbourne, and Charles Hoddle
Street,
who designed the layout of the Melbourne CBD, which is actually called the Hoddle Grid.
I knew that.
So but the interesting thing is they wanted to convey the pioneers, but they actually dressed them in modern clothes. And if you've
Oh,
seen them, they're kind of like skinny men. You may have seen these. I've actually seen this,
what?
and so it's kind of they're kind of wearing business clothes and carrying briefcases. So they're kind of in the modern world, looking around as if dazed by what they created and what they founded, what it's actually turned into. So it's a really cool figure. So Alison Weaver and Paul Quinn were the sculptors. They're both Australian artists. And fairly well, have a lot of commissions to their credit. But interestingly, the sculpture was gifted to the government by the government of Nauru,
God.
celebrating the 150th anniversary of the city of Melbourne. So Nauru
Wow.
is obviously in the Western Pacific Ocean, and um, we have a strong connection with Nauru. It was installed in 1994. I beg your pardon. And if you want to see it, it's on the corner of Swanston and Burke Street. So in a pretty prominent place in the Melbourne CBD.
Wow.
So three businessmen who bought their own lunch: Hoddle, Swanston, and
Did not
Batman.
know that.
Did you know
No,
that
I
fact,
did not
Kristy?
know that.
You didn't
And
know that
nah, and I
fact.
really want to go and
Wow.
check it out. That is really
Yeah, it's
super
really,
cool,
really
Ben.
cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Sorry. You're none from two of them.
Three.
You are none
My
from two.
score says,
It's really cool. I actually did see that.
oh, good on you.
You said you got what do you mean none from well,
Yeah,
3,
you've
what?
got three, and I've got point five. Point five.
How have I got 3? You've only given me one fact. I don't know. I knew I shouldn't have let you keep score.
No, it's good.
It's that fun with Queensland weather. It's messing with your
It
brain.
is. And my hair.
Sorry. And you do look like Sandy at the end of Greece right now.
Oh,
I,
that was excellent, Ben. I'm totally going to check out the Three Businessmen and have a word to them because I love
yeah,
that huddle grid. It's good, nice and square.
it's cool, isn't it?
Really, really
Yeah, it's
cool.
brilliant. Very hilly, but also very gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hit
All
me with
right.
your second Adelaide
Ne-
fact. What do you got? Come on, see if you can
Next
stump
up,
me.
Ben, I've got another incredible South Australian fact for you. I'm pretty sure you won't know this
Oh,
one. Hopefully, you don't.
okay,
Does
okay.
Catty Thunder mean anything to you?
No.
What about Lake Air?
Yeah.
Okay, take a listen here, Ben. I've got a very special VIP guest who's going to explain a little bit
Oh,
more. Okay, Ben, now for our next special VIP guest, we have got cousin Leanne who's going to read out the next question. Take it away, Leanne. Sorry, got the giggles. Take it away.
The question is, did you know that Lake Eyre, officially known as Catty Thunder Lake Eyre in the South Australian outback, is one of the largest inland salt lakes in the world? Not laughing, Kristy.
Can't help it.
The Lake Eyre Basin covers over 1 million square kilometres and was named after the explorer Edward John Eyre, the first European to see it in 1840. When the lake is full of water, it attracts all sorts of migratory birds and also has its own yacht club.
Oh, no, I did not know that. Did you know that, Ben?
Oh, it is beautiful.
There you go.
wow. Well, hello to my cousin Leanne. It's so nice to hear your voice, and of course, you two are giggling through that. Of course, what a
I
surprise.
couldn't stop laughing, but
Well, you know
yeah.
what? Well, I didn't know all of those facts about Lake Eyre. So when you mentioned the Indigenous name, I went, yeah. When Leanne put it into context of Lake Eyre, I'm like, yes, it does. That is its Indigenous name as well. So that's cool. But I didn't know all those facts about Lake Eyre. I didn't know who it was named after. I
Good.
didn't know all the
Point for
facts about the
me.
size and the geography of it. So that is a win for Kristy.
Yes.
So that's actually no. It's a no point for me. Sorry. So that's a because I didn't know that fact, so I do not get a point. That we've forgotten the rules of
I
our own
know.
game show here.
All right.
Oh wow, that was so cool. Well
Thank you.
done. That's some geographical
Yep.
facts. I love it. You're really reaching
I
far and
did.
wide.
I went out of Adelaide. Didn't tell you that.
No, you didn't. That's okay. That's all right.
All right, Ben.
It was so nice to hear Leanne's voice. That was fantastic. So fact number 3. This is fact number 3 for me
No.
already. Wow. Okay. So did you know that Melbourne used to be the capital of Australia? So up until 1901,
No.
of course, it was Federation. At the time, Melbourne and Sydney were fighting over the title of the capital of Australia, which is why it was decided it would be in another city completely brand new that they created called Canberra. The history of Canberra is pretty fascinating.
Mm.
And although Canberra was founded in 1913, the Parliament actually only opened in 1927, so it took 14 years to actually get the Parliament
Right.
built and up and running.
Great.
So for this reason, from Federation 1901 to the opening of Parliament in Canberra in 1927, Melbourne acted as the interim capital of Australia.
Wow, go Melbourne, you bloody legend. I did not know that.
Did you know
No,
that?
I did not
You
know.
didn't?
Oh
Sorry.
my God, Ben. Jeez. I did not know
Wow.
that. And
Okay.
I always knew Melbourne was pretty special, but no, I did not know that. So another
Yeah,
great fun fact.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and the history of Canberra and how it was just basically a dirt patch for a long time is really interesting history as well. But we won't talk about that
Right now. No, another
today.
time. Score check. 4
Another time.
points to Ben and 1.5 points to Kristy.
How? I do not understand how your scoring is working. But anyway, I'll take the points. I'm not going to argue.
All right, Ben. Now for my third and final fact today. I've really brought
Please.
out the big guns.
Oh, I'm excited.
That's right, folks. I've had to call in Auntie Deirdre. Yes, Ben's mum.
What? Oh my God. You've really gone above and beyond.
That's right. So let's just take a listen to see what Auntie D has to say. Bet you don't know this one, Ben.
Oh God, I hope it's not about me.
Here we go.
Did you know that parts of the famous Jaws movie, directed by Steven Spielberg, were filmed in South Australia at Dangerous Reef off the coast of Port Lincoln? The footage was filmed by Ron and Valerie Taylor.
So, how about that one?
Okay, Mum. Firstly, welcome, Mum, to the podcast. I had no idea that was coming. That was a nice surprise. I have to give her a ring later. But no, I did not know that. I had no idea
Yes.
that part of Jaws was filmed in South Australia. No idea. So that's a...
Isn't that an amazing fact?
It's incredible. And Valerie Taylor and her husband, whose name I've already forgotten.
Raymond or Rodney or something.
Yeah, the Taylors. Yeah, the Taylor family. Wow, no, I had no idea. But it makes sense, though. We actually have real proper sharks here in South Australia.
You don't want to mess with them.
Oh,
hey, would you ever do that swimming with the sharks in their shark cage?
No, never.
Neither
never,
would I.
ever. No.
No,
Would you?
not on your Nelly. No way, man.
No.
Couldn't cope.
No. Even the footage you watch of them coming up to people's boats, you know, when you're actually watching it even. No, I couldn't do it. I think I'd wee my pants. I'd wee my wetsuit.
I'm weeing my pants now, thinking about it.
Just thinking about it.
Gross.
Kristy, what did you think, audience? Did you enjoy yourselves? Oh, thank you. Thanks so much for coming into the studio today. Look under your chairs. You all get a gift bag now. Get out.
Get out, you noisy buggers. That was heaps of fun, Ben. I found out some great information about both our states. So great work to us. Even though you won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to my 2.5.
Yeah, and okay. The adjudicators are just checking that to make sure it's correct. And yes, it is correct. A couple of other really cool things I found out, and I'm not going to keep going on about facts about Melbourne, but it was the first city outside of Europe and North America to host the Olympic Games in 1956, which I think is really cool. And you guys are getting the Commonwealth Games in 4 years.
Yeah, that's it. So
I had no idea. So 2 Australian Commonwealth Games in a row. Wow. And also the world's first feature film was made in Melbourne. It was a 60-minute long feature film called The Story of the Kelly Gang in 1906. In fact, it was on your birthday in 1906 at the Athenaeum Theatre in Melbourne when it premiered.
Is that the one that had Mick Jagger in
it? He's that old, yeah. 1906.
He couldn't have been in it.
Good on you, Nick.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Ben,
Oh,
we
too much
always come
fun.
back to what's happening either side of Neil. So I thought I'd tell you what's
Yeah.
happening in Melbourne. Hairspray, the
Tell me.
multi-award-winning Broadway hit musical, arrives in Melbourne in August. It's already August, so it's already here. But it's got an awesome lineup starring Shane Jacobson, Todd McKinney, Leggy Rhonda Birchmore, Rob Mills, and it's a winner of like 8 Tony Awards, and including the Best Musical. So the Australian production of Hairspray is going to be on at the Regent Theatre. If you haven't been there, it's absolutely beautiful. And I think I saw Moulin Rouge there. It's bloody beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, I'm probably going to go see it. How about you, Ben?
What's happening in Adelaide? Well, there is a lot happening during the wintry, coldy months. There's lots of wine and food kind of things happening. So the Barossa and there's lots of wine and food festivals happening in and around some of the regions. But throughout the biggest thing for me throughout August is actually the Sala Festival, which is a South Australian Living Arts Festival. So it's just known as Sala. And it's the largest celebration of visual arts in Australia. It runs in Adelaide all throughout August. And what it does is it takes the work of around 8,000 emerging, mid-career and established South Australian artists across around 500 venues across the state. So you can exhibit your art anywhere. In fact, we've got a Sala exhibition in our building where people have just brought their own art in, whether it's photography or art or craft or anything. So we have just a little pop-up Sala exhibition that's just
fantastic.
Sort of grown over the last few weeks in our office at work, which is just cool. So you can do it anywhere. Galleries do it, and lots of venues, big venues do it around the place. So there's some exhibitions like Sub-Zero, Nuanced, Gerard McCabe's From Pandemic Woes to Pink Diamond Luxury. There's a whole bunch of them, and I've got a lot of artist friends. And some of them are exhibiting for Sala, and some of them have been painting for Sala and got their stuff on display. So check it out, Sala Festival, if you're in Adelaide. It's a really cool.
What about our mate Elizabeth? What about our mate Elizabeth Close? She'd be doing something.
I'm not sure if she's doing anything for Sala. She has had an exhibition on recently, though. She's just doing so well.
I love her stuff.
She's doing amazing things. Yeah. So, and also Thomas Reddit, who collaborated with Elizabeth Close on the Lights Recreation Centre, which we featured in our street art episode. He had an exhibition at the Salisbury Community Hub recently, and I put some photos up on Instagram
saw those.
of that as well. So
really cool.
Some of the artists we've connected with through the podcast are doing really cool stuff. Yeah. So that's Sala Festival. So get on and check that out. Absolutely.
Nice one. Good on you, Ben. Well, that just about wraps up another episode. And this being our 10th episode, let's have some fireworks to celebrate. Yeah. Good on you, Ben. It's been heaps of fun. Our first 10 episodes is a real milestone, so congratulations to us. Well, it looks like you're off on a 7-week cruise to Europe.
I'm going to go find 17 or 18. Or do you want to come? And then I have to find 17. I better take Mum because she contributed.
Cousin Leanne,
family.
I could take my mum.
About 10.
Take my mum, no worries. Right. I reckon we could fit it out. Uncle Joe. Oh.
Easy. God, we're going to need
people. I have to be a bit more transparent. Uncle Joe gave me the Pleiades information. Yeah,
did he?
That's Ben's dad, everyone. So thanks, Uncle Joe.
Thanks, Dad. Oh my God, Mum's on, Dad's on, Leanne's on. You've gone next level. Yeah. Oh, you should win just because of
I had to cull people out because I had so much content. Fair income.
Oh, you're a champion.
All right,
you're the best. So much fun. I loved it. I think we're going to have to do that again soon. It's just too much fun.
Yeah, awesome. Good on you, Ben. Great to see you. Have a great weekend, everyone, and thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.